Hey guys, I'm going to talk about everything that I sold in January and February at my markets. So if you've watched my my market vlog about the January markets, you'll see that I didn't have a lot of markets planned, so I kind of got some last minute, and they were at like new locations and new events. So I wasn't really sure what to expect. I didn't make as much money as I wanted to. I didn't make as much as I usually make at markets, but it was definitely fun and it was better than not doing any markets at all. So anyways, I'm going to tell you everything that I sold at these markets, and I'm going to try to put pictures up of the items that I sold. Now, I probably won't have a picture of the exact item, like the right color, but I'll put a picture up of like the item. Like if I sold an octopus, then I'll put a picture up of an octopus, and maybe I sold a pink one but I only have a picture of a blue one, like that. But if I do have the picture of the exact item, I'll definitely put it up there. So my first event of the year was an artist meetup. It was the first artist meetup, and it was the first event at this new location, so not a lot of people knew about it, but I still made a few sales, so that was good. I sold a mini octopus for $10, and then I sold 2 more mini octopus to someone else, and then I sold a Tofu the turtle, which I love that pattern. It's super cute, and it's really surprisingly quick to make. And then the next thing I sold was actually to my friend who came to the event, and she got my large chocolate covered strawberry. So that one was a pattern test that I did in January, and my friend had seen the picture of it, and she like came to the market and she's like, I think I have to get this. So that was cool. So at that one, I did not have a booth fee because my friend was running it and it was the first event there, so they weren't sure how well it was going to be, how many people were going to show up. So anyways, there was no fee for that one, and I made $80. And then the next market that I did was also in February, and it was the art walk. So where I live, they have art walk down on Main Street where a bunch of artists can set up booths at different businesses, and people just come check it out. You know, they can go into the restaurants, get food, buy art, or just look at it. So it was my first time being at that event. This location is a little bit, it's not right on Main Street, it's a little bit out of the way, so not a lot of people knew about it, but I still did decent, you know, especially for it being at a new location. So the first thing that I sold was a pickle, and I sold that for $15. And then I sold a gray beanie. It was one of my knit beanies that I make on the knitting machine, and that sold for $20. Then I sold a mini chick, which if you've seen some of my videos, you've probably seen them. I really love making the little chicks. That sold for $12. And then I sold one of my large chicks for $20. The next thing I sold was a velvet keychain, which I haven't made a lot of the velvet keychains. I'd only made a few, but I am definitely going to make more. It's kind of like a wristlet. I'll see if I have a picture of it, but it's like a little wristlet where you can wear your keychain around your wrist. And then the last thing I sold at this event was one of my large dinosaurs. So that was pretty cool. That one sold for $40 because it's a lot bigger item, but it's actually kind of quick to make, and it's actually really fun to make. I really like making the dinosaurs, which you probably know that if you've seen a lot of my stuff. But that was a really fun event because they had wrestling there, and I had never seen wrestling before. But so anyways, at that market I made $115, which again, for it being a new location and a fairly new event, that was pretty good to me. Okay, so my next event in January was the Beer and Tines event. So that was an event where all of the breweries in my town got together and had an event where people paid a ticket to get in, and then they got to try samples of beer from all the different breweries. And then they also had the booths where everybody could go shopping. And that day was surprisingly cold. It was like super cold, and it was an outdoor event. So I think that the coldness kind of affected it a bit, but I did do pretty well. So the first thing I sold was 2 Octopus. Those sold for $24 total. And then I sold a popping mushroom, which that pattern's by Cable and Canvas. And I love the popping mushrooms. This one was really cute. This guy came up, and I can't remember if it was his wife or his girlfriend, but he was like, she's gonna love this octopus. Like, I know she's gonna want it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and buy it and hide it from her, and I'll surprise her with it. And he was like, okay, don't tell her, don't tell her. So he bought that for $20, and then later they both came back around, and she was like, oh, look at this, it's so cute. And then later he surprised her with it, and so that was really cute. And then whenever they came back, he had told me before, he was like, oh, she's probably going to like this Shamrock. I bet you she's going to like it. Watch when we come back. And so whenever they come back, she was like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. Can we get it? And so they got the Shamrock too. And so it was just funny how he like definitely knew her. He knew what she wanted. So the Shamrock sold for $25. And that one was a pattern test for Little Baby Rory Crafts on Instagram. Then I sold 2 more of my Octos. Those sold for $24 total. And then I sold another Octo and another pop mushroom to the same person, so that sold for $27 total. And then the last thing I sold was another one of my large dinos. This was the teal one. And it sold to this cute lady, and she after the event, the lady that had set it up had made a cute reel with like a cute reel of like people at the event and how the event went, and there was a picture of her holding the dinosaur, and it was so cute. So although that event was super cold, it wasn't the most enjoyable just because I was so cold, but I did make $161, so not bad, especially for like a February event where it's still pretty cold out. Okay, and then for the last event that I did in February, it was a market at that same new event place, and so not a lot of people knew about it. Again, you know, of course they tried to post about it and everything, but it's just, that's kind of the way it is when you have like a brand new event and a new event center. But anyways, so I ended up only making 3 sales at this one, but it's okay. I did pay a $25 booth fee for this one, and I sold a medium octopus. So I've actually only made 2 of these. I'm not sure if I have a picture. I'm gonna try to find one, but it's like a purple medium-sized octopus, and this one sold to a lady that sells different kinds of hair ties and hair clips, and it's really cool the way that she shows her hair clips. Instead of having like just having them there or having like fake hair to clip it on, she likes to buy crocheted plushies from people, and then she clips the hair clips onto the plushie just to show how they work. And so I went to her booth later, and she had like multiple plushies, and she said almost every time they go to an event, she tries to buy a plushie from somebody to add to her display. So I thought that was a really unique idea, and it was pretty cool. So that sold for $30. And then the next thing that I sold was another one of my large dinos. It was the purple one, and that sold for $40. And then the last thing that I sold was a popping mushroom, and that one sold to another one of the artists that was like across from my booth. So the total for this event was only $85, and there was a $25 booth fee, so that wasn't great. But it was better than making nothing. So, and it was fun. I got a booth next to my friends, so I got to hang out with my friend during it. And so it was fun, even though I didn't make that much money. So my total for February is kind of low, especially for how many markets I did, but again, most of them were at a new place, so that's why. So my total for February was $361. So that total does not take out the booth fees or any other fees like the amount of yarn that I made or anything. So I actually did not make a profit for the month of January because I did spend a lot of money on yarn, and I also bought a Cricut and a lot of Cricut supplies, and so it added up super quick, way quicker than I expected. I could not believe how much I sold once I went through and totaled everything up. But anyways, so I did not make profit for January, but I was able to continue crocheting, and I didn't get to make more stock that I can sell later. So okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my first show of March into this video. So for that, it was another art walk event, and this day just ended up being cold and rainy, and it was just like the weather was so bad, so rainy, storming, and so like hardly anyone showed up. And so this one was not a good one. It was still kind of fun, and I did get a lot of stuff done. Whenever I do have a slow market, I really try to make sure that I'm crocheting during it, so that way, even though I'm not making money at the market, I'm still making product that can be sold at the next market. So I did get quite a few things made while I was there, but I only sold 2 things, and it was to one person. But I sold one of my white Leggy Chickies, and so that is my pattern, the Leggy Chicky. They are usually yellow, but I did make a few that were white. And so if you want to check that pattern out, I'll have that linked in the description as well. And then the other thing I sold was one of the popping mushrooms. So these sold to one of my friends, and it was actually really cute. They were for her kids, and she ended up sending me a picture later of the kid was like snuggled up taking a nap with the plushie, so it was really cute. Okay, so that's where I'm going to end this video, just January and February, which January I only made 80 bucks, and then February was like around 300. So not a great start to the year, but it's better than not doing any shows, and I've made quite a bit of inventory during that time for my upcoming spring and summer ones, which those I've had booked for a long time, and I know that those have a lot of traffic at them. So I'm not too worried about it, but by this time I should have my animal shelter market video out, and that is the next one that I did in March. So if that video's out already, I'll have it linked in the description as well, so you can check that one out and see, because my next March market did pretty good. A little bit better than the last few. And I have another market tomorrow that usually has a lot of traffic. They do a really good job advertising on social media, as well as having some big signs outside at a lot of locations around the city. So that one should be pretty good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping to sell a lot of Eastery stuff at it, and I should make another vlog about that one. So if you want to make sure you see my upcoming market vlogs or just any of my upcoming videos, make sure to subscribe. And if you want to keep up with me daily, I usually post on Instagram every day. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to check out the description to see the links to all the patterns.